Hey there, ready for another deep dive?
Always ready. Let's do it.
We're tackling the age-old question. You know the one. Is it too soon to introduce your partner to the family at Christmas?
Oh, yeah, the big holiday dilemma.
I know. Just thinking about it can send anxiety levels through the roof.
Totally. So many factors to consider.
But don't worry, we've got you covered. We've combed through advice from relationship experts, so you don't have to.
Always good to have some expert insight.
Right. They always bring such interesting perspectives. Like, our source this time really emphasized how important it is to consider the stage of your relationship. Like, are we talking new fling or committed couple?
Yeah.
Before you even think about adding the whole family dynamic.
Yeah, it's kind of like you wouldn't ask someone to run a marathon if they just started jogging, right?
Exactly. Building a strong foundation, feeling secure, comfortable with each other as a couple, that's essential.
Yeah. You got to be solid before you throw in all the complexities of family relationships, like jumping into the deep end of a pool. Make sure you're both strong swimmers first. Love that analogy. So, how do you know if you've reached that marathon ready stage, so to speak? Our source talked a lot about open communication and shared values as key indicators.
Right, but those can sound kind of abstract. What does that actually look like in a relationship day to day?
Totally. It's like, okay, I get it, communication is important, but what does good communication actually mean?
Well, think about it this way. Imagine you and your partner are facing a challenge, maybe a disagreement or a tough decision.
Like, say, what to get her mom for Christmas, or whether to go to his family's Christmas Eve or hers, the little stuff.
Exactly. Do you feel like you can express your feelings honestly to each other without fear of judgment?
Yeah, being able to be yourself, that's huge.
It is. And can you listen to each other's perspectives, even if you don't agree? And then can you work together to find solutions?
So it's not just about talking, it's about how you communicate and how you navigate those tricky moments together.
Exactly. You know, it's funny. It reminds me of this one time.
Oh, tell me.
Well, maybe another time. But the point is, those shared experiences, those little tests you face as a couple, they build resilience.
Okay, I'm with you. So we're talking communication, resilience, and that's what you need when you enter the, well, let's face it, sometimes chaotic world of family gatherings.
Especially holiday gatherings. With all the expectations and traditions, it can be intense.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. I'm already picturing the awkward questions, potential misunderstandings. It can be a lot.
And that brings us to the next big thing. It's not just about how long you've been together. It's about how strong that bond is, the quality of your relationship.
So it's not just about the calendar, it's about the depth of the connection, right?
Yeah.
But how do you even measure something like that?
Well, think of it like this. Every couple has their own relationship language.
Relationship language.
Yeah, their own way of communicating, supporting, understanding each other. So the question is, have you developed that language with your partner?
Interesting. So you're saying it's like, can you read each other's cues? Do you feel like a true team?
Exactly. Ready to face whatever comes your way,
Even Aunt Mildred's fruitcake.
especially Aunt Mildred's fruitcake.
Okay, I love that. It's like you've built your own little fortress of understanding, ready to withstand any holiday storm.
You got it. And remember, introducing your partner to the family, especially during the holidays, can be a big step.
It's definitely not something to take lightly.
It's almost like sending a signal to your family, to your partner, even to yourself.
A signal. Now I'm really intrigued. Tell me more.
Okay, well, think about the message you're conveying by introducing your partner at Christmas. Are you ready to integrate them into your life more significantly?
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
It's a statement. So, does it feel like a natural progression? Or is it coming from external pressures, like it's what everyone else is doing?
So it's a kind of mini relationship check-in. Am I on the right track? Do I see this person in my future? Big questions to be asking yourself while basting the turkey.
You got it. And that's why being honest about your intentions is so, so important.
Like really looking inward.
Yeah. Don't feel pressured to make introductions just because it's the holidays.
Mm.
The best decisions come when you're both truly ready and excited about that next step.
I love that. No rushing the process. It's about finding the right time for both of you. But let's be real, even with all the right intentions, the thought of introducing your partner to the family can be nerve-wracking.
Oh, for sure.
Families come in all shapes and sizes with their own unique, sometimes, let's be honest, crazy dynamics.
Oh, absolutely. Every family's different.
Mm.
And our source really emphasized the importance of understanding those dynamics
Yeah.
before throwing your partner into the mix.
Okay, so how do we unpack that? What are the key things to consider when it comes to family dynamics?
Well, let's start with communication styles. Is your family loud and boisterous or more reserved?
Oh, definitely on the boisterous side.
Okay, so good to know. How does your family handle disagreements? What are the unspoken rules, the expectations?
Ooh, the unspoken rules. Those are the tricky ones. I'm already cringing thinking about some of my family's unspoken rules. It's like a whole secret code you have to crack.
Huh, right. But understanding those nuances can make a huge difference in how your partner feels.
It's like giving them a map to navigate the terrain. But, to be fair, you don't want to change who your family is.
No, not at all. It's about preparing your partner for what to expect.
Giving them the tools to succeed, basically, not setting them up for a holiday disaster. So communication style is one thing, but what about the overall, I don't know, vibe of the gathering?
That's a great point. Some families are incredibly close-knit and traditional with strong emphasis on, like, rituals, shared history.
Yeah, doing things the way they've always been done.
Right, whereas others are more laid back, casual, embracing spontaneity,
The
flexibility,
spectrum, right.
from perfectly orchestrated carol singing to
Right.
complete gift exchange chaos. Exactly. Where your family falls on that spectrum can play a big role in how your partner might fit in. Someone who thrives in a structured environment, for instance, might feel overwhelmed by a free-flowing, unpredictable gathering.
And on the flip side, someone who loves spontaneity might feel totally stifled by a highly orchestrated family tradition. It's all about finding that balance.
Finding what works.
So we've talked about the relationship, touched upon the family dynamics, but there's one very important piece we haven't addressed.
You're right. Your partner's feelings.
It's so easy to get caught up in our own anxieties and expectations and forget to check in with the person who's actually meeting everyone.
So true. And sometimes the best intentions can backfire if we don't take time to understand their perspective.
Okay, so how do we do that? What are some good ways to gauge your partner's readiness and make sure they feel comfortable with this whole introduction thing?
Well, first things first, open and honest conversation is key. Like, really key.
Communication strikes again. But what should we actually be talking about?
Start by acknowledging that this is a big step. It's perfectly okay to feel nervous, excited, all of it.
Yeah, it's a lot to process.
Encourage your partner to express their thoughts openly and honestly. Are they excited? Apprehensive? What are their biggest worries? What would make them feel more comfortable?
I love that approach. You're not pressuring them into anything, you're creating that safe space to share. It reminds me of this time when...
We can circle back to that later.
Yeah.
But remember, everyone has different comfort levels when it comes to meeting new people.
Especially when it's your significant other's family.
For sure. Some people are social butterflies ready to jump right in.
Oh.
Others might need more time.
It's like some people are happy to jump right into the deep end of the pool. Others prefer to wade in slowly.
Exactly. And it's important to respect your partner's pace. Don't assume that everyone wants that instant family integration.
Right. Some folks need to dip their toes in slowly, and that's totally okay.
It is.
So how do you navigate that? What are some practical tips for making this whole intro process smoother, especially for those who might need a little extra time to adjust? I think predictability is key here. Even with all the chaos that a family gathering can bring, our source had a few strategies that I thought were super helpful.
I agree. The tips were really practical, like prepping your partner ahead of time. It can make all the difference.
Oh yeah, I love that idea of giving them a little cheat sheet about the family. Like Uncle Joe loves to talk about his stamp collection, or, Aunt Carol always asks when you're getting married.
Right. Give them the insider tips. Help them navigate the conversations. Avoid any pitfalls. It's like giving them a map to the family's unique landscape.
Exactly. It's not about changing your family. It's more like equipping your partner with the knowledge to handle their quirks and eccentricities.
And setting boundaries. That's crucial too. And you can even do this together with your partner, which can actually be a bonding experience in itself.
Boundaries, yes. Oh, I remember one Christmas, my partner's uncle kept grilling him about his salary. It was so awkward.
It can be tough, especially during the holidays. People feel a bit more entitled to pry into your life.
Yeah.
But you can draw a line, for sure.
But how do you actually set those boundaries? Do you, hand out a list of forbidden topics at the dinner table?
Haha. I mean, it doesn't have to be that formal, but talking to your family beforehand can help. Just saying something like, hey, we're so excited for you to meet partner's name, but we'd love it if we could keep the conversation light and avoid topics like, marriage or future plans.
That's a good way to put it, yeah. Setting the tone, but not being confrontational.
Right. Respectful, but protecting your partner from feeling overwhelmed. or interrogated.
Exactly. And, it's not just about protecting your partner, it's about protecting the relationship too.
Absolutely. You're a team, remember. You need to present a united front, especially in new, potentially stressful situations.
It's like building that relationship fortress we were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah. Save space to relax and enjoy the holidays without feeling like you're under a microscope.
Exactly. And don't forget to be supportive throughout the whole process. It's a big deal for your partner. They're stepping into unfamiliar territory.
They might need a little extra reassurance for sure.
Yeah, I think it's easy to forget how overwhelming it can be to meet a whole bunch of new people,
Mm.
especially when they're all related, have all their own inside jokes and dynamic.
Oh, yeah. Just be attentive to their cues, you know? Right. If they look overwhelmed or need a break from all the festivities, maybe offer to take a walk together or find a quiet corner.
Little gestures go a long way, showing you're there for them, you understand.
You can make a huge difference in how they experience the whole thing.
So we've talked about a lot of different factors, the relationship stage, family dynamics, communications, setting boundaries. It feels like a lot to weigh. Is there a clear-cut answer to this whole "is it too soon" question? Like, is there a magic formula?
I don't think so. Every relationship, every family is unique, you know? What might be perfect timing for one couple could be way too early for another.
So how do you know? What are the signs you're on the right track, even if it's daunting, that this introduction is a good idea?
I think it comes down to a few things. Firstly, trust your gut feeling. Do you feel that excitement about sharing this part of your life? Does it feel like a natural step in your relationship?
Like you want them to meet the people you love, not because of pressure or anything, just because it feels right.
Yeah, exactly. And look at the bigger picture. Where do you see this relationship going? Do you picture a future together that involves, family gatherings and all the traditions?
You're saying it's about seeing your partner as a part of your life, not just right now, but long term.
Exactly. And remember, introducing them to your family isn't a test.
Oh, that's good. It's not pass or fail.
Not at all. It's an opportunity to connect, build relationships, expand your circle of support and love.
I love that perspective. It takes the pressure off. It's a positive thing.
And even if it's a bit awkward, like if Uncle Joe asks one too many personal questions.
There's always an Uncle Joe.
Always. But those moments, they can become shared stories, something you can laugh about later.
It's all part of the adventure, I guess. And speaking of adventure, our source had a few bonus tips to make this whole introduction process smoother.
Oh yeah, they were great. Really practical. All about being prepared and adaptable.
Right. The first one was about managing expectations, yours and your partner's.
Acknowledging that things might not be perfect. There might be some bumps along the way. And that's okay.
Just gotta roll with it. Embrace those imperfections, the unexpected moments that make family gatherings so memorable.
Exactly. And the second tip was all about the power of humor.
Humor is essential, especially when you're dealing with family dynamics.
Oh, for sure. It can diffuse tension, break the ice, create a sense of lightness, even in those awkward moments.
Like a secret weapon against holiday stress.
Totally. But you have to use humor the right way.
Yeah, you don't want to be making jokes at your partner's expense.
No, no, no. It's more about finding those shared moments of amusement, those quirks that make your family unique.
Like, remember that time Grandma accidentally set the Christmas pudding on fire?
Exactly. Stories everyone can laugh about, those that bring people together. And finally, they emphasized self-care.
Wait, self-care during the holidays? Now that sounds revolutionary.
I know, right? It's so easy to get swept up in everything, to forget about our own needs, but it's crucial.
So we need to give ourselves permission to take a break, step away if it gets too much.
Yes. Encourage your partner to do the same.
Prioritize your well-being even amidst all the holiday cheer.
And remember, a happy, healthy you is the best gift you can give your partner and your family.
So we covered a lot of ground today. From assessing your relationship, to navigating family dynamics, to prioritizing self-care, there's a lot to think about.
There is. And even though there's no easy answer to this "is it too soon" question, this deep dive has given us the tools to make the best decision for you and your partner.
It's all about being mindful. Consider all the factors and trust your instincts. It's like we've been given a roadmap, not just for holiday introductions, but for relationships in general.
I love that. Yeah, the principles we've talked about today apply to everything. Open communication, understanding different perspectives, setting boundaries, prioritizing yourself.
It's bigger than just surviving Christmas dinner. It's about building those healthy, fulfilling relationships with your partner, your family, your friends.
Exactly. And you know what I think is really cool? These decisions, like whether to introduce your partner to your family, they can lead to some serious self-reflection.
Oh, for sure. It makes you examine your values, your expectations, what's really important to you.
It's a chance to grow as an individual and as a couple. And sometimes the tough situations, well, they lead to the best insights.
So true. So, to everyone out there, struggling with this decision, there's no right or wrong answer here. Trust your gut, communicate openly, and choose what feels best for you and your partner.
And remember, it doesn't have to be a make or break situation. It's just one step in your journey together. Enjoy the experience, learn
Love
from it and have fun.
That is such great advice. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. We'll see you next time.